Motion, is a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Public info? Yes, John?
John M. Stortecki, Town of Hope. Subject is the resolution you have on the agenda tonight authorizing an increase in stipend paid to full-time Town of Benson employees. I'm going to respectfully ask up front if I may have more than 2 minutes. I have critical, important information for you folks as the board. I won't waste your time. I'm asking politely up front if I may. It won't be much more than that, but that way if you have any questions as I go along, it'll make sense if you want to ask me anything. Is that acceptable?
Give you 3 minutes. You said it wouldn't take much time more than 2 minutes.
Okay. If you're only going to give me 3 minutes, I don't know if I can complete it. Can you give me 5 minutes? Because I won't exceed 5 minutes.
Come to the board. We have 5 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Thank you. And it has to do with the form, what you say in this. As you know, for many years now, the health insurance is being paid out of the health fund, the stipend. This is law that I'm going to be talking to you about. This is not anything I've made up. To comply with federal and state regulations, the current arrangement violates federal tax and Affordable Care Act rules because a town cannot offer a health insurance opt-out stipend if it does not actually offer a group health insurance plan. Under federal guidelines, cash in lieu of benefits, an opt-out stipend, is exclusively defined as a payment given to an employee for declining an existing, and that's in big letters, employer-sponsored plan. Because the town has a population of 250 or whatever it is, and provides no health plan to decline, this $3,600 payment is legally classified as standard taxable wages, not a health insurance stipend. To formalize, document, or restructure this practice legally under New York town law and federal rules, specific steps and documentation are required. So as I say what this is, if you have questions, please ask me. You can reclassify as pure salary adjustment, which is the easiest way and would fit best for the town. If the town wants to keep the arrangement exactly as it is without setting up a complex benefits portal, it must stop calling it a, quote, stipend, unquote. Instead, the town board must pass a resolution adjusting the baseline compensation of the highway positions. There's documentation required. A town board resolution, which you're talking about tonight, which is the legal authorization to use public funds under New York town law. There's payroll records. The $3,600 taxed as standard income, meets IRS compliance, and employee acknowledgement, a signed form noting that the town does not offer a group health plan and the employee is responsible for their own coverage. And that's liability protection for the town. I have an employee acknowledgement in terms of compensation form, which basically I'm just going to hit the highlights, and it's available to you easily to use. The employee acknowledges and agrees to the following facts regarding the town of Benson benefit structure. The town does not offer, sponsor, or maintain a group health insurance plan. No group health insurance coverage is available through the town for the employee to accept or decline, and the employee is solely responsible for obtaining and maintaining their own health insurance coverage, all of which you're already doing. There are no restrictions on the payment because this payment is processed as standard taxable wages. The town cannot legally restrict how these funds are spent. The employee is not required to submit private health insurance receipts or individual policy numbers to the town as a condition of receiving this salary. Are there any questions so far? Okay.
What if you call it other than a stipend?
I'll get to that. Good question, and I've got the answer. Personal documentation. Each affected highway department employee shall sign an acknowledgement form confirming their understanding of this compensation structure in the absence of a town-sponsored group health plan. This signed acknowledgement shall be kept on file in the town clerk's office. And then it's got a motion with votes by supervisor and council persons, etc. that form, once it's signed by the person in question, has to be approved and signed off on by the supervisor and the board, and stamped by the town clerk. As far as the IRS, the New York State Controller audit compliance. The Office of the New York State Controller regularly audits small towns. They look closely at highway department spending because it represents a large percentage of a small town's budget. To pass an OSC audit regarding this issue, ensure the following. Big letters, again, eliminate the word quote unquote stipend. Ensure the word stipend is completely removed from your budget line items, employee handbook, and voucher descriptions. The OSC flags health stipends given without a corresponding town health insurance plan as an unauthorized cash expenditure. Meaning if you're paying that stipend out of the health and benefits, or this DA 9060801, that's unauthorized cash. That's not authorized through that line item. It's not voted on that way. So you would want to take that, you would add it to their salary, but then it has to be accounted for by Jody Small or the treasurer's office. The rule basically is a town cannot offer health insurance opt-out stipend if the town does not actually offer a group health plan. And I think that's about it. Yes. So if you pass this the way it stands, you're violating in 3 areas: the IRS, the Office of the State Controller, and as far as the taxes and not offering health insurance and not having a signed form to protect the town by the employees. So you can still accomplish exactly what you want to do, but I'm asking that you reconsider.
Thank you, John.
What do you want to call it?
No, it still has it. Back when Dave Rogers was in office, and you remember, you made this, you started this stipend. And the stipend is, it doesn't say in any of our resolutions that we've increased it. It doesn't say anywhere that it's for health insurance. It says it can be used for health. It can be used for anything it wants to be. It's, if you look up stipend, it's for work. Stipend is a regular fund money paid to individuals. It is not directly payment for work performed. Instead, it is usually designed for offset basic living or training expenses. So there's nothing, Dave and Mr. Stortek is the one that started it and got rid of the health insurance that we had to start with.
I remember that, I was back there.
So
You
now,
have that resolution right in front of you?
huh?
You have the resolution in front of you?
Yeah, we're just increasing what we've had.
I just want to see
And
it.
it doesn't say, it says it can be used for that. It can be used for anything. We just happen to have,
It's offset
yeah,
cost.
it doesn't say it's for health insurance. It says it can be used for whatever you want.
I'm concerned about the taxable
It
element.
gets taxed.
It has to go on a separate line item on the W-4 form. It has to be counted as Medicare. It can't come out of the health fund. It's got to come off of a line
They
item.
get taxed that just like a payroll check.
But where do they get the money from that you're paying them, that you're increasing their salary? It says in your resolution, you're authorizing the payment to be made from DA 9060 employee benefits, hospital and medical insurance.
It is.
That's right, and that's illegal. That's what I'm telling you, that's illegal.
It comes from employee benefits. It doesn't have to.
I'm telling you, that's the illegal line to use it out of. I swear to you, and I knew this might be the reaction, but I'm just telling you, by the law, you'll be violating everything, and it's so easy to do it the right way. That's what's sad.
In the past, we've been doing this.
Yes,
Have we always taken out of that DA?
yeah.
So
Right.
why don't we just double check?
That's where the
Laws are
that's
changing,
where the county takes it.
Thank you.
because Hochul is going after small towns, you know that, Phil.
Thank you,
So
Lloyd.
why don't we just double check this stuff? Because she's changing all kinds of laws, right?
She's changing everything, but that doesn't mean she.
Well, I
Maybe she
would rather
does.
be, I just spent 2 hours on Zoom with the state archivist for a historical society, because somebody complained about several issues. I'd rather not be put in that position again.
Well, let's just
What
vote on the
position of the-
resolution and then we can go from there. But it comes from the county. We've been doing this from the county pays it out of that line item.
I'm not
and they
disagreeing.
tax it. It gets taxed.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing.
We don't
I
have
just
to
wanna
increase it
double check.
right now. We can wait. I don't care. But we'll just, we'll vote
I'm
on it.
not, in, I'm not disputing the increase, I'm all for that, it just,
I don't think anyone's disputing the increase, and I'm telling you, I was wrong the way we did it. Our board was wrong the way we did it. It's been wrong right up till this moment. But this is the right way. You have the opportunity to do it the right way.
Well, we'll check into it.
Thank you.
We'll table this if you want to table it.
Yeah.
Fine.
Thank you, board.
You get a second on tabling?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll table that for the next meeting.
Yeah, oh, and for three, yeah, you ready?
May I give this to the town clerk?
That's exactly the way the resolution is in the books right now. Dave Rogers,
Right.
in the short text.
This is kind of messed, but this is all the info, just as reference.
I don't disagree, Phil. I just want to double check because you lost track.
There's no Frank?
Yeah, I have a couple questions on people.
Yeah.
One of the questions I asked, and thank you for giving me that report on some of the balances of, where was it, A and B account. I don't know if that's all of your accounts or not.
That's all the accounts, Frank.
Okay. The other question I have, okay, I don't have a problem with that, and thank you very much. And remember, the questions I'm asking is Benson business. Has nothing to do with anybody else, personally. The other question is, can you explain to me what a fund balance is? Because you mention it all the time.
The fund balance is the money left over every year in the budget that accumulates, so we have extra money to purchase items like trucks in the future.
Okay,
And it also carries in, that fund balance also carries it into the next year
yeah.
until all our taxes come.
So in other words, in terms, for the other two account balances you gave me, which is revenue, so that's a revenue too then, correct?
The fund
No.
balance? No, it's not the revenue for the year.
Okay, it's not
It's
revenue.
it's
All right.
left over
That's why I asked
balances
somebody to
from the
explain.
accounts
Okay.
before.
Okay. And the other question is, when you gave me those balances, I need to know at, what was it, April 25th? At that point, did you receive the money for the year from Hamilton County for the Benson budget?
Yeah, they send us, right, Carol?
Huh?
They send us the rest of our taxes due.
Yeah, but was that part of that balance? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
It was. And,
Yeah.
and that balance, it also included the revenue coming in from the taxpayer?
that is the revenue coming in from the taxpayer.
I mean, those two balances you gave me, that's, those two accounts are
Hamilton
part.
County just doesn't give us extra money.
No,
That's the revenue from the taxpayer.
just that we're going from April 25th, and that seems their quarterly starts at what, April 1st? It's pretty fast payment, I was just wanting to clarify that.
Yeah,
You did receive that money for,
and the revenue you don't see is the vouchers that he sends out for us working on the county road. So that's a different,
Yeah.
well,
When-
okay,
but that's
When
part
they
of the budget when it starts in the
when
beginning.
they send me that check at the end of in April, it's like $500,000.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
Carol only gives me about 100.
all right.
And they send the rest of the taxes, that includes all the state tax,
Mhm.
all the state land, all the taxpayers that paid after the date she can't collect anymore.
Mhm.
And it also includes the fire company,
Okay, well, that's what I wanted
the
to,
$153,000.
I mean, my point of view is I'm trying to, do some research on why our taxes are being increased at a certain rate, which I think is a little high. And this is what it's all about. Because I see your two accounts that you have as a checking account, two of them, which is quite high, if you add them both up. You know, A and B, they're, I mean, you want me to say it? They're up there. Well, you gave me, a balance of 430,001, which is the highway department, and you gave me, or was that an A account? And the B account, the other one was like 400 and almost 50,000.
Right, and you gotta remember what I gave you.
Okay.
I gave you all our taxes for 26, plus the fund balance that's in there of $140,000.
Oh, wait a minute, you just made a statement of a balance for fund balance. I asked you a question, if that was part of revenue. as a total balance against these other.
No, it's in that checking account, it's in that.
What checking account
It's
is
in
that?
that highway fund, and it's in the general fund balance.
All right, if,
Yeah.
the only thing that confuses me, if you're gonna use the highway fund money, why is the statement is we're taking this out of the highway fund and that fund balance? That's why I wanna clarify that for me, cause I don't understand that part.
When we take money to pay a bill
Mm-hmm.
out of the highway, it comes out of the budget, and it comes out of a line item, a certain line item out of the budget.
Yeah.
When we take money out of the fund balance that we're gonna do maybe tonight to pay.
But how does the fund balance relate to?
It's
to the
not, it has
highway
nothing to do with the budget, it's money that's there that we can use for like a new fuel tank.
Okay, so that's still, it's still part of your total revenue, actually,
Well, it's not revenue for that year, it's revenue from years past.
but it's still part
It's
of,
tax,
it
it's
is
tax.
still part of total revenue.
It's revenues, it's
I asked you
tax
for the
dollars.
balance at that date, and so if that's what you have, revenue is revenue. That's money coming in.
It's revenue,
Well,
and
it's money that was there, not
But-
coming in.
Yes, but it's still part of your balance for that year or whatever you want to call it.
it's a balance for that year, and it's a balance for 25, 24, 23, if you didn't use it up.
Now, when it comes to, your chip money, is that any was that part of that balance or is that?
No.
That's what, 35,000 I heard you say?
Well, it's part of our, in the budget for that year.
Part of your budget.
It's in the budget, it's not the fund balance.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. I mean, it's gotta go somewhere.
And we usually spend that every year, except for this year.
And on that, you have to do the project and then you submit that, then you get.
Yeah. Okay.
And really, it's really kind of false money, because the state has it, you have to go get it from the state,
Well,
okay?
yeah, I mean, I realize that. I mean, everybody's trying to balance the budget, just like the state. When you got a deficit of $54,000, how the hell can you balance the budget for this year? I don't get that far. And I'm just trying to see where Benson's at, because there's a lot of motors there that they're very flexible, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to clarify between all of us how it works.
And when we move money, it's because we have to pay what we wanna buy out of a certain account.
Right. Usually,
But the thing I don't understand, I don't mean to take too much time, but I think myself and the public needs to know, if you have a budget and you have a general fund, and you have the other fund, A and B, all right, why ain't we working off that $597,000? Why ain't we working off that amount of money and the other surplus money instead of sitting in a checking account? Why isn't that money being invested in property or maybe into a CD? It's just sitting in a checking account, getting ready to go somewhere.
Frank, we got 140, this is an example, we got $140,000 of fund balance. And that has nothing to do with the $300,000 for the highway for the budget for that year. All of a sudden, you have a road washout in the town of Benson, and it costs you $500 or $75,000 to fix it. You can't go get that money out of the CD.
Well,
You have to take it out of the fund balance, that's the way we carry it.
so you're saying the fund balance more or less is emergency
Yes,
account?
yeah, it's for their, it's,
Oh, yeah, but that's what you need to clarify. I mean, we're not mind readers, we're just taxpayers.
yeah, that's why we, that's money there rather than trying to invest it or.
Now, but the other
You don't
point,
wanna run around zero.
well, no, but the other thing I don't understand is, why is the saving account, well, the town of Benson only $7,000?
Why has it only got $1,000?
7,000, the figures that I got.
I don't know where that's been there for,
But why, well,
it's still there, we haven't been, we can use it whenever we want to, it's
Oh, I
there.
realize, but why is it only at that amount?
Because no, we haven't put any money in there, Frank.
Well, I'm trying to find out where it's going, that's the bottom line. Okay, we'll work on it.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have another resolution tonight for, setting a date for the moratorium and for solar and battery storage. And what'd you say, Carol, the 28th?
Yeah,
May?
yeah. The resolution tonight is to authorize a public hearing.
Yeah,
We have to have a
very
public hearing for the local law.
You guys saw the resolution?
Yes.
Right here. Authorizing public hearing to consider public law number 1 of 26 for town of Benson for battery storage, moratorium. And which also, if you read the local law, we sent you, it also includes solar power,
Yeah.
solar farms. It has nothing to do with individual homes or nothing like that. So,
Industrial.
and it's for the May 28th at 6:30. So I make a motion that we set the date and have the public hearing. Okay, you second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then the other thing I want to talk about is, we were at the Hope the other day at their meeting, and they talked that they were gonna replace their tanks. Well, we might just go buy our own. So, you all got the papers, I saw you. Bowl Fuel gives us, we buy our olive fuel from Bowl Fuel, and they got a tank for, it was $9,800. I called them today and asked for a little better price, they gave me come down to 94.
94, 4, 333.
I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and, accept that bid, and we, do a resolution on the 28th to pass that we purchase, and take that money out of the fund balance of the highway. And it'll go into, one of the budget line items. So,
You're buying what kind of thing?
it'll come out of the fund balance of the
What are you
highway.
buying?
A fuel.
Fuel
Double
tank?
wall fuel tank.
Yeah,
1,000 gallons.
it comes with all the pumps and all the vents and emergency vents, and it comes on a skid. It's,
Hope is gonna be moving theirs from down on 30, somewhere's up there,
right,
somewhere.
right. They said they would get more. We might just well have our own. We don't, there's no reason we
I
can't have
don't
our
know
own.
what we're paying them.
Yeah,
It's
yes,
it's just costing us forever.
yeah.
In 3 years' time, it'll pay for itself.
Right, 3 years.
And where do you want it?
We'll be behind the saw shed someplace. We'll put 2 bubbles up, and we'll put a fire extinguisher out there. It doesn't need to have fire suppression. It's under the 1,500 gallons. I talked to Bowl Fuel today about it. It's only a 1,000-gallon tank, so it doesn't need all that stuff.
And that's diesel.
Diesel fuel.
Yes.
Only, yeah, diesel fuel. And that way we're not running up there all the time.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out, I mean, because we do go up there to get salt and sand,
Right,
and not all the time are you fueling up either.
right.
Or when you're back down here, you need fuel, then if you,
Then we have to
I
run
mean,
on.
in the perfect world, you can time it right, but
Yes,
I'm just thinking about, what is it, 5 miles up there?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So your 10-mile trip, I mean, like you're saying, in 3 years, it will pay for itself.
Right.
And I'm sure it's not, you get there and somebody else might be there and you're waiting.
It's worth having.
I think it's the convenience of it, plus we're not running up and back, wear and
yes,
tear on vehicle
And
if you-
time.
in time.
yeah. That's the biggest part right there, time. Cause there's days where we get busy, and then you don't get a chance to go up and get fuel, and then, you know, at the end of the day, you're looking at the gauge, and it's like, well, I gotta go get fuel, cause if something happens in the middle of the night, snowstorm, you know, you don't wanna wait the first thing in the morning when you should be out plowing.
And it's nothing against them, but they're gonna be moving theirs, it's not as convenient if you have to go up the hill to get to it.
Right,
When everything else, you know, where they would be up there loading up their trucks and stuff, I mean, then you're gonna have a cluster.
yeah,
So I think it's not anything against them, it's just that it'll be better for us.
it is.
Yeah, I think it'd be an advantage. It's gonna save us a little money.
Yeah, in the long run, save us a lot of money.
Yeah,
And I went online and I was just curious because I went by the time it shipped here, it's not $1,000, so it's,
That's not even the gauges or all the.
No.
Yeah,
That's
that's-
nothing.
yeah.
I've been pricing.
Price of
all over.
steel is through the roof.
And then if you use just a single wall tank and you buy the containment, I looked at the price of the containment, it's like $3,000 just for the containment.
right.
Might as well buy the double.
Yeah.
And, you know, with Bull, they're setting them,
Yeah, they sell us fuel.
they do it to all the farms.
It's 25 cents over
Skid tanks,
whatever.
cause they're so
There's a lot of
convenient.
stuff on here I wouldn't think of.
Yeah,
that they have, so.
Wait, if you don't mind for a second, I got one important question. Where is the Black River boundary line where you want to set this tank? It doesn't seem to be
Far, it's 30, 40 feet
from where,
from where we're setting the tank. Well, maybe not.
there's somebody had.
There's at least 20, it's not on,
That fuel.
it's not on.
All right, just that's like 8 questions.
It's gonna be right behind the little salt building, man, there. And right from that building out there, it's probably 30, I'd say 30 feet.
Okay.
It's at an angle. The closest spot we are down there is right against the septic tank, the pump out station. We're about 2 feet away from that one corner, and it goes at an angle, it gets wider as it goes that way.
Oh, it's wired that in?
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you're carrying on a conversation outside of public comment, why wouldn't I be entitled to the same courtesy without issue? Because it just looks like discrimination if you prevent me from
We're not
speaking.
discriminating against you. He asked a simple question
Well,
about.
may I ask simple questions? May I ask
You got a
simple
question
questions?
about the property line?
Not that specifically,
Okay, thank
but it doesn't matter. I could ask another question on another subject.
No, what they're talking about, you can ask a question on.
Thank you.
So earlier, I could have asked questions
Thank
at
you.
any time.
All right, Phil, you made the motion to accept the bid, who seconded it?
I'll second it.
Make a motion to
To make-
accept their bid and, we'll have a resolution
Next
on
one.
the 28th.
And who's the bid from?
Both fuel.
Both?
I'll give you the
Here, here's a copy, you got mine.
This is the one with the,
That's with the right price.
99,443.
Let me make a copy for myself, thank you.
You can keep that, I can print it on when I'm at work.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Thank you.
I want to talk about the retaining wall out here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get that finished and buy some more blocks and that, we're gonna put some steps on that end of it.
Mhm.
Because that's where both fuel backs up to climb up in there to get fuel, propane, or both of them.
Well, if you're buying bricks, can we get enough to circle the flagpole? A double layer, I mean, if you're,
Yeah, we were talking about that
We
too,
talked about that.
actually today,
because that would look much better.
yes.
And it would be easier to take care
Yeah,
of.
me too, I think so.
Okay.
Instead of flowers all over the place.
Well, I like flowers all over the
Well,
place, but,
So I'd like to do another course, fill that in, do another course, and come around the corner one block, and then move it out 2 feet, and then fill it in, and it'll be level, and then put a picnic table out there. So,
yeah, I'd like to take those shrubs out and maybe replant them elsewhere. They don't
Which
make
shrubs? The one in the middle of the lawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they look, it's not good
Can we
landscaping,
move-
it's
can we
ugly.
move
She's saying it's all willy-nilly.
Can we move
Yes.
someplace if you're gonna dig it?
Yes, I'm not gonna throw them away.
I know, but someplace where we don't have to mow around them,
I'll have to look,
maybe
but
a straight line.
what about under the eaves over here?
Yeah, you can put them there.
Yeah.
Why don't we put them,
Instead of mowing.
and then I'll donate some hostas,
Okay,
and they'll all be very happy.
you will be.
Yes, that's true.
Where
And
you get,
actually, it'd be low maintenance too.
where do you get the blocks from?
Millers.
Millers?
How many?
I don't know, yeah, I was gonna stop down and, give her a diagram
Are they textured ones?
and, yeah.
So you'd have the flagpole, a nice circle, and then the rest would be lawn. I think that would look a lot better,
Yeah.
and a lot easier to
Maybe
maintain.
3-foot circle around there.
I was thinking more like,
6 foot?
6 foot?
I don't know if they have the same ones, but we already have these ones now.
Yeah, we have to match these.
Right. I was buying retaining wall blocks from down in Amsterdam, Cranesville. They're much cheaper.
Yeah.
The delivery's cheaper, it's crazy.
No.
They're not that much, they're not that bad. We
No.
only need another 2 for the bottom.
Right, well, that's what I mean, I'm
You
just,
know, to match them.
they wouldn't match because they make the different ones.
Right.
If you do an 8-foot diameter,
Why don't we just do the whole place, we don't have to mow
Hey,
I like 8-foot diameter. That's make
smaller
a
the
nice.
better, that way
it?
they
Yeah,
don't
but the trouble
hit it
is,
with the
that-
plow.
Well,
I wanna put a Christmas tree over there too.
and who's?
I wanna make it so where nobody plows
That
into
way,
that.
anyway.
it should go all its way to the back, out of the way. That way it doesn't get tore up like it has, but,
Well, if we do 6 foot, it'd be 3 foot.
I mean, we just-
All right, I'll go 6 foot.
yeah,
Okay, 6 foot,
6 foot diameter.
3 foot each side of the pole.
yeah.
She's happy with that. Because then she don't have to weed so much.
And then we're gonna do the same to the sign down at the bottom of the hill, but we can do that next year. Cause that needs work too,
Well,
but I don't have time to do that.
And Mr. Saxon and his wife said that they would plant. if you-
They would volunteer to plant as long as we just pay for the plants or flowers, but they would do the planting.
So that's okay with the board?
The field or the block?
The blocks.
Yeah, and the circle. Yeah. And then a table, small table in here with a couple chairs for the kitchen, now we have room. With all the filing cabinets are out there. And purchase a small table.
Yeah. Might as well make it useful.
Wait, you got anything?
Yeah, we just, this week here, we did quite a bit. We, took in, on the county road here, we just picked up all the brush along the, shoulders where we're gonna be mowing. And then, just finished up the cemeteries. And I'm gonna finish up here tomorrow. And then, I got the corner Route 30 to do yet. And, well, I just did have the pickup down to Ace, did an oil change on it and found that the dipstick tube was rotted right off, laying on the frame. So, had to pick it up in the air, pull the tire off, take the inner fender well out in order to get to put a new one in.
Yeah.
So, I had it down there for a few days, so,
It's important to be able to check oil.
yeah.
Well, and it does give a lot of salt.
We just did get the tandem back. They did a good job on that. He said it was so bad,
You can get a bill from Ace for that? Yeah.
not yet. He said it was so bad they couldn't even get it out of the pins out. They had to cut them out.
Rich trash that bad.
They were,
The dump box.
yeah, they were, weren't taking grease for years. So, it was just something that's been neglected over time and they were shot.
I will now.
Yeah, yeah. So, everything on it, that is back up to par. Other than that, we're pretty good. Oh, we did get the, air compressor in and all hooked up. That came out fantastic. The air gun that we got, and then we had one
Horse gun.
donated to us, so. Hooked them up, so we got 2 good air guns now.
And you have somebody that's interested in the job?
Yes, yes, I have, James Taylor
Really?
from,
Coming,
So you have.
yes, I know what I thought the same thing when I heard it.
Have you got his application yet?
No, he came and picked it up yesterday, he's gonna fill it out.
So you really don't have it?
Um,
That's good. Okay.
That's the guy that was working for Hope.
Yes,
Yeah.
there were some issues there, but that's,
Alright.
speak to him about later.
I have approval of the expense register. General is 6,361.66. The highway is 167.07. The total for this one is 803.73. And then we have a second one that county sent down for the black flies and Alan Palmer is $8,878.98, and that's all out of the A account. I get approval of the
I'll make the motion.
bills.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
Aye. We'd like to go into executive session to talk about highway and contracts and have a discussion on that.
Mhm.
I make a motion that we go to executive session.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
alright.
Aye.